Hi, welcome in the first video game analysis of vcchess fans. In this video we're going to take a closer look at the game of Mohamed Syed, who played with black against a little lower rate opponent. And the game started with the move e4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, so we have a paired defense, and after g6, knight f3, so a classical variation, bishop to g7, bishop e3, knight d7 and bishop to d3. And I think this is a bit a little inaccuracy from white already, because white usually wants to play this move h3 to prevent black knight from jumping into g4 to exchange the dark square bishop, which is a very strong piece. But okay, black just played e5, which is alright, and now recaptures, castles, and we have a position which is slightly better for white, but really not much. There is possibilities of winning for both sides. Bishop to g5 has been played to pin this knight, h6, and bishop to h4. So for now, nothing really exciting. Rook e8, rook e1, and knight to c5 has been played in this position. And now this is the first time when actually white made a mistake, because white played the move knight to d5 now. And the problem with this move is that, as we can see, the white bishop is a little misplaced, and black could have gained a lot of advantage by playing the move g5 now. And the point of this move is that after knight f6, bishop f6, bishop to g3, g4, attacking the knight really has to go back, there is no other squares, and h5, we are as black threatening to go h4 and trap this bishop, so something like, and also on d3 square we can try to attack our opponent, and so we can just double take on d3, and black is just simply a pawn up. So that would be one possible variation. And if white didn't go for this knight f6 after the move g5, if white actually chose to go bishop to g3, then we just can take on d5 and then take with the queen, and also we just simply win. We simply win a pawn there. So g5 was the better move. Instead, knight to d3 has been played, which is not a bad move by any means, but yeah, we had some tactical opportunities to win this game quicker. Now c takes d3, already also a mistake, because, well, this move g5 still is in the air, and yes, because of that I think it's pretty clear that white has some black has some advantage here. But okay, black played actually the move g5, but now after bishop to g3, this is the first time where black played the wrong move, because now very simple knight to d5 would leave black with a simple pawn up, because after taking the e5 pawn is defended, so black has two bishops, a pawn up, and just a better position. Instead, black played the move knight h5, which is a slight mistake because of some tactical resources the white has. So as we can see, the knight on h5 is undefended, and the queen is indirectly looking at this knight. So white could actually win a pawn by playing bishop to e5. And the point of this move is that after taking, queen h5 just simply wins back the piece, and white is a pawn up here. And also, well, the pawns are really weak now from black side. White has some ideas of swinging the rook into the game, of going h4 to challenge this pawn structure and to attack the black king. So yes, white missed this chance, and instead of this bishop to e5 very strong move, he played rook c1. Now c6, very natural, just to kick this knight away, knight e3, knight takes g3, and again white made some weird decision here, because he took on f3 with the f pawn, which is really strange, because as we all know, or should know, we should recapture towards the center. So recapturing with the h pawn would be more natural, and white would have some options of going f4 in the future, which is exactly what white wants to do, right? Attack the center. Control of the center is very important. And instead, taking with the f pawn is a bit surprising, considering the fact that actually the rook is on e1, not on f file. So that would make some more sense to maybe try to use this half open f line to maybe attack our opponent. Now queen b6, now black played, and as we can see, this knight here is pinned, and in some variations we can try to win this knight. b3 has been played because actually the b2 pawn was attacked as well, and now f5 with a clear idea of going f4 and to win this knight. So king to h1 correctly was played, f4, g takes f4, and e takes f4, and now white actually managed to create some kind of counterplay here. Knight c4, queen to c7 and e5, and suddenly the position looks quite promising for white. I think the black has, the position is probably equal because black has the bishop pair, and the bishop pair is really strong in a lot of situations. But white has some good squares, like knight can go to d6. White has, I think, some space advantage in the center, and also the pieces are quite well placed. So I think it's about equal, but it's very dynamic and interesting position. Now bishop to g4 has been played. Now bishop to g4 has been played. Very interesting, just to pin this knight so it cannot go anywhere. And also now the e5 pawn is hanging, right? Because we can win this pawn by taking with the rook, and sometimes just simply we can start by taking on f3 maybe, and the e5 pawn would be undefended. So d4, a correct decision from white side. Rook a to d8, and now queen to d2 has been played in the game. Also quite a weird decision, because probably the move has been played with the idea that the knight is no longer pinned and we can move this knight somewhere. But first of all, it's not clear where this knight wants to go, right? To g1 doesn't make much sense. So maybe it was better to leave some other square so the knight could jump to d4 and maybe then perhaps to e4, which would be a better choice. And now black has some additional options of, for example, just simply take on f3 and then take on e5, because as we can see, the queen is on the same file as the pawn. That means the pawn is pinned. Sorry, not that, of course, but the variation I'm talking about is just like this, and we are using this pin, and yeah, I think black is just a pawn up here. So that would be one decision. Instead, black played a strange move, b5, and this is a mistake. This is already a bad move, because, well, first of all, what is weird about this move is that this knight wants to go to d6 anyway. There's no reason why we should force white to go to this square on d6, and also we just weakens our pawn structure by going this move b5. Now the c6 pawn is weak, and this b5 we cannot control the c5 square anymore. So this is a very, very weak move and creates a lot of weaknesses, and white indeed just jumped into the d6 square now. Rook e6 has been played, well, probably has to be played. And now white made a mistake because he played the move h3, and he missed a very good chance of winning the game immediately by going the move d5. And as we can see, we cannot recapture because of rook takes c7, and we would lose our queen. And probably the best decision for black is to just give up the exchange, because after bishop to g6, rook takes c6, we are completely lost. The position is just simply lost for black here in this position. These two pawns are very strong. The rook is going to attack now the knight. Every piece of white is working together, so this is a very bad situation. After d5, white would have a winning position. But instead h3, now it gives black an additional option of taking on f3 and then maybe queen d7 to get out of this nasty line on C on the C file, and black probably would be fine, although it still is very tricky. Instead, black didn't realize the threat of d5, and again d5 here would be a very strong move. But now white played a horrible move g4, and probably didn't realize that black can take en passant f takes g3, and black is just simply winning now. The knight on f3 is hanging, and well, white tried some tricks with knight takes b5, but again, bishop takes f3 is a check, unfortunately. And after king to g1, black just played queen b6, and well, as we can see, this pawn is pinned, so we have some options of taking on e5. This knight here is hanging. Knight to d6 has been played, but now very strong. Rook takes d6. Black played correctly, and after pawn takes, rook takes e1, rook takes e1, bishop to d4, king f1, and now g2. Of course, it's simply winning. However, black had a better move after queen to b5 or queen a6. It was a checkmate in 3 because, well, white can only make something like queen d3, take here, and then we can take. And if white starts with this move, we can play the move g2 and then g1 queen. So yes, it was a very interesting and double-edged game. Black managed to actually win the game at the end. And if you want to see your game analyzed, then go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching.